Wow. Pazza Inter is back with a vengeance, guys. I cannot believe it. Yesterday, I uploaded my post-match reaction after going out to Fluminense in the Club World Cup, thinking, oh, we can breathe. Season's over. Now we can focus on, more exciting, more fun things, transfer window, what's going to go on. Literally 5 minutes after uploading the video, everything kicks off. Lautaro calls out half the dressing room, and then Marotta decides to single out Hakan Calhanoglu. Today, Hakan Calhanoglu and his wife reply is all kicking off, so we're going to go through it all today, try to make sense of it all. So make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. But this is the old Pazza Inter that we know. If you're a younger fan or a recent Inter fan, you might think, especially under Inzaghi, 4 years under Inzaghi has been pretty drama-free, to be honest. Very stable with Marotta. But real Inter fans, though, drama FC, Pazza Inter FC, this is the Inter that we know. But let's get straight into Lautaro's comments from last night, which were very, very strong, have caused a lot of controversy. Let's have a look at them together, man.
Il messaggio è chiaro, chi vuole stare con noi sta, chi non vuole stare deve andare via.
A chi ti riferisci, Lauti? So che
No,
non farai
in generale,
nomi, però...
non farò nome, però in generale, capito? Perché noi siamo qua a fare di tutto, però ho visto tante cose che non mi sono piaciute, quindi come capitano, come capo di gruppo, certamente c'è il mister prima, però io quello che posso dire, perché io sono così, sto da un lato o da un'altra parte. Io voglio lottare per obiettivi, perché siamo in una squadra importante, siamo una squadra che negli ultimi anni l'abbiamo riportata in alto, io voglio continuare là, quindi il messaggio è chiaro, chi vuole stare a continuare a lottare per cose importanti deve restare, chi non vuole, arrivederci.
Strong words there, guys. Who wants to stay, fight for important titles, keep Inter at the top as we have been the last few years, can stay. If not, thank you and goodbye. And let me say this from my side of things, and I think a lot of Interisti will agree. I love this from Lauti. Thank you, Capitano, for saying things, standing up for Inter, for Interisti, because we haven't had anything since that Champions League final humiliation. I've been waiting for a proper apology from someone at Inter to explain things. I mean, this doesn't really explain anything, but at least we're seeing something passionate, real coming out of Lautaro in the heat of the moment with the adrenaline post-game, that he's not happy with things in the dressing room. He's talking about on and off the pitch. Yes, Hakan is definitely one of those people that he's talking about, but as multiple sources have talked about, Lautaro was not talking about singular. He's talking about plural. Could be Marcus Thuram and his, recent appearances and his injuries and the way he plays pretty much second half of the season. Some rumors that I'm not liking that I'm hearing about Marcus Thuram. Frattesi wants to leave and he wants to stay. He wants to leave. Pavard as well with his injuries, going back. Could be multiple different players that aimed here, and I like it. We might, next season could be a difficult, tough year, maybe Banter era season, as we said, especially with an unexperienced coach like Kivu, who's going to have to manage this very, very difficult situation in the dressing room. But this is the opportunity to start fresh, clean slate. We have had 4 years of this Inzaghi cycle. 4 years in modern football is a long time. These players have played together. They loved each other. They're probably now at this stage of they've spent too much time together. Some of them might hate each other now. It's time to get rid of do what we did, when we signed Conte. The problem is we haven't signed a coach like Conte, but we got rid of Icardi, Nainggolan, Perisic. We had to send him out on loan for a year, get rid of that, sort that situation out, clean out the locker room, the separations, the factions that may have been created, and start afresh, even though you might have to sacrifice some top quality players in the process or sacrifice the transfer valuation. Because now, because of Lautaro's comments, Beppe Marotta came out to basically single out Hakan Calhanoglu, and it has caused a domino effect now. So let me share the words from Marotta last night following up Lautaro. And by the way, the zone and the Sportmate didn't even ask him about, who was Hakan Lautaro referring to. He was like, he didn't say it, but I'll tell you, he was referring to Hakan. So he's singled out Hakan, whether that's smart or not. Very unexpected from a guy like Marotta, who's usually very politically correct, tries to play both sides, doesn't try to give away too much. But here he's kind of, what they say, push the baby out with the bathwater, or throw the baby out with the bathwater. Lautaro was referring to Hakan Calhanoglu. We're going to speak directly with him next week. If our paths separate, we will not hesitate to do so. Lautaro was speaking about always giving your best for the team. Again, I think Marotta here has tried to maybe just use Hakan as a scapegoat here, because Lautaro is definitely not just referring to Hakan. But we know that Hakan looks like he wants to leave. He wants to go to Galatasaray. Galatasaray want him. We don't want this to drag out. Good timing. Remember yesterday I made my video, and Hakan saga right now. I wasn't expecting this all to kick off, but I guess this is the quickest way. Now, because of Marotta's words, this has probably undervalued Hakan even more. I wasn't expecting on getting more than 20-25 million euros for him from Galatasaray. Now it literally might be a Brozovic situation where 15-18 million is my prediction. Very minimal fee to just get Hakan out the door, because we have reached the point of no return now. Because look at this. Hakan released a statement today on his personal Instagram. His wife also came out and spoke about, being loyal, and, loyalty is a two-way street. Hakan said, he's been injured. He's had, is proof that he is injured right now after the Champions League final in USA in this camp for the Club World Cup. He got injured again. So that's why he's on holiday. He's committed to Inter. And also fired back at Lautaro, saying, I'm a captain as well for the Turkey national team. I lead with my actions, not with words. So definitely now it's a back and forth between Hakan and Lautaro and Marotta. Point of no return from all parties involved. And look at this. Who has liked this post from Hakan? Gaia Lucariello, who is Inzaghi's wife. Marco Arnautovic, who obviously is his brother, his German-speaking brother that, they were inseparable when Arnautovic was at Inter. Those 2 years, these two were probably the best friends. And he's not at Inter anymore. He's liking that. And Toodle-doo, Marcus Thuram, the other guy that we've mentioned that might have been part of this rant from Lautaro, has liked this post. No one else from the team has liked the post. Could be due to time differences. They're in the USA. I don't know if they've traveled back yet. Let's see how that develops. I know this is silly when you look at social media likes and all these types of things, but right now, the fact that these 3 people are the ones that have liked it out of the interrelated people, it says a lot. So we have reached the point of no return now. Marotta, could he have played it differently? Maybe yes, but transfer window officially opens today. So he's saying, Hakan, if you want to leave your camp, your managers, your agents, get this deal done with Galatasaray ASAP so we can get your replacement in. And Marcus Thuram, as I said in my post-match yesterday, he needs to get his act together. The body language from Thuram doesn't look right. There was, the connection between him and Lautaro yesterday on the pitch as well. Sometimes can be a bit silly to try to read into body language in a tournament like this where, the players are already on holiday mentally and physically. But we've seen peak Lautaro and Thuram when they link up. Beautiful appreciation, partnership, understanding, IQ from the two. Yesterday, there was a couple of times where they tried to link up and Thuram was like going the opposite direction. Lautaro was going the different way. Yeah, something doesn't look right. And I'm hearing Juventus, these are murmurings that have not been confirmed by any of the big media outlets yet, but some of the people I follow on Twitter, they're murmuring that Juventus are trying they're trying to sneak their way into the Thuram camp. Obviously, his dad, Lilian Thuram, Juventus legend, and his brother Kefran is playing at Juventus, so I'm sure it's not hard work for them to sneak their way into some conversation with Thuram. But regardless of who it is, Thuram is vital to this Inter team, the way Inter have played. But you cannot have players that are not fully committed to Inter. The quality doesn't matter, guys. Hakan, you guys know I'm a big fan of Hakan in the regista position. I thought he was our MVP in the Scudetto winning season, but Lautaro said something as well. He said, this Inter team needs to return to the mentality and the way that we behaved in the Scudetto, the Seconda Stella season. That Inter was solid, barely conceded goals, especially in the league. We were just, very difficult to beat. Maybe not as, swashbuckling and easy on the eye, but that was a fantastic Inter team to watch. And we just didn't see that Inter last season. Only a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times. I can count those games on one hand where Inter looked really like champions of Italy, best team in Italy. Even the games in Europe in Champions League, with just Barcelona, it was like coming from gut, just like moments. Acerbi just going up, Frattesi coming up with a little moment, like Frattesi against Bayern Munich, like those types of moments, just hanging on in the games and then just coming up with moments. Of Dumfries against Barcelona, not really into playing their way out of trouble, playing their way into dominating other teams. So definitely things were not correct on and off the pitch last season. Inzaghi probably knew this as well. This is maybe one of the reasons why he left as well. He saw that this group after 4 years is coming unstuck. Some, factions are created, or some friendships are breaking down, or some relationships are breaking down. I wanted ideally to Inzaghi to stay, but probably now I think it was good in hindsight now to just have a clean break. Christian Chivu, though, now wrapping up on this video, he has got a very hard job on his hand. In reality, which is why I wasn't too keen on the Christian Chivu appointment. Now you need a manager with the cojones, like when we said Antonio Conte came in with the Icardi situation, backed by Beppe Marotta. He said, okay, you get Icardi out, bring me Lukaku in, get Nainggolan out, guy that, he wanted Nainggolan at Chelsea. He's a player that he liked, but he knew that dressing room-wise, maybe commitment-wise, professionalism-wise, clean break. Perisic, he tried to keep him. He said, do you want to be a wing-back? He said, no, out to Bayern Munich for 1 year, get your act together, come back and see where we get back. Is Chivu the guy? We don't know, but ideally we needed a guy with the kind of managerial man management, dressing room management, strong characters to come in and set the standard for the next couple of seasons, maybe even just one season to come in. So Chivu has a very, very difficult job on his hand. I appreciate and respect him for taking this job, because I think he knew this is what awaits him. And we're going to have to back him. We're going to have to support him through this. He's definitely not going to be a fault for a lot of things that go on next season. And Marotta, Ausilio, they need to deliver him the team. They need to deliver him also a good dressing room. So if sales need to be made, make them. Guys that have underperformed, sell them. Get freshness, get some athleticism, inject some youth into this team, and let's start again. Let's go again. Because this team, even as it is now, it should be able to, sleepwalk to top 4 as it is. We can't change our minds of what we used to say to Inzaghi, that he should have been winning Scudetti in these 4 years. So even with little change, this team remains strong. Whatever Napoli, Juve, Milan are doing at the moment is not, looking like anything too crazy. We'll have to see as the Mercato goes on. But day 1 of the transfer window, and everything is kicked off. And it's gonna be a crazy summer up ahead, guys. It's gonna be a crazy summer up ahead. But most importantly, guys, I want to know your opinions on this whole situation. What should have Marotta done? Do you agree with how he came out and singled out Hakan? Or should he even come out and mention all the names? If it was Frattesi, Pavard, Thuram, like whoever it was, come out? Or should he just kept it under wraps like he always does, politically correct? Do you agree with Lautaro? Some people were saying, this is maybe the chance to sell Lautaro if he thinks, he's the big don and he's underperforming. 10 million net a year and you're putting performances out there. Are you in that camp as well? Let me know in the comments down below. Interesting times up ahead, guys. Strap yourselves in, put your seatbelts on, maybe double seatbelt on. Pazza Inter is back. Pazza Inter summer up ahead. Whew. It's going to be an interesting one, guys. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We'll be here to cover it with you. Forza Inter, Forza Pazza Inter.